But 200 some years later, here we are at a crisis in America, and it's over health coverage. It's over treating people. And you say, well, I'm against that. But may I just say this? If you have a job and all your children have jobs, what are you going to say when you lose your job, or somebody in your family that's dear to you loses their job and they don't have health coverage? Yeah, but they'll be forced to buy it. They can't afford it. They lost their job. Well, they'll get on another program. Well, what I believe is, let there be a system to where everybody from preborn to death, and that goes for congressmen, senators and congressmen, and all federal employees, everybody is under one basic plan. Now, I know some of you are going to say, oh, but what about this? What about... This isn't about putting implants in my bald spot. This isn't about giving you cosmetic surgery because you don't like the mole or you want to look better or whatever. There's some things you're going to have to deal with in life because of the cards that were dealt to you. And I'm going to be bald, and I don't expect you to have to pay for it, the U.S. taxpayer to pay for implants. Besides that, I don't want any implants. But that's where we're almost like a Goldilocks society. It's got to be just right for everybody. Is it going to be right for everybody? No. And if you're one of those persons that will never use it, more power to you. I mean, you have car insurance. It's usually to pay for the banker's investment in your car if you have a loan out on it, or the other person if you run into them. But if you go through life without ever having a claim, you're going to stand there and say, all those years I paid for car insurance. Well, you're better off. And I realize that, and this is another basic philosophy of Craig Astor. Our tax dollars, as long as it benefits everybody, I have no problem with that. If our tax dollars goes to support roads and infrastructure, bridges, that everybody can drive on, that everybody can use, I'm all for it. I have no problem with that. Everybody has access to public education. I'm all for it. Everybody has access to our public parks, our public libraries. And as long as everybody can have access to it and use it and benefit from it, then I have no problem with my tax dollars. But what I do have problem with is when my tax dollars and your tax dollars is given to enrich the corporate CEOs or enrich certain segments of society. And by the way, that lady, that friend of mine that's a realtor that's paying $800 a month for her insurance health coverage policy for her and her two daughters, guess what she's also doing? She's paying for the people in Medicaid through her taxes. And so let's look at Medicare, Medicaid. Let's just get to where everybody is on a basic health service coverage. And you will still have private practices. You can still have union negotiator or employee benefits that go beyond that. Whether it's providing eye care or hearing or dental care or things like that. But when it comes to life and death, I mean, if somebody's sick, they need to be taken care of because it affects all of us. When one member suffers, we all suffer. I think that might be something that might be in a book that some of us use, especially one day a week. At least we say we use it. And there is a lot in the scripture that talks about taking care of the needy. And I think we just need to look at the health coverage in a different light. Are we going to let it to continue to be privatized and the wealth is distributed from people's savings account into that? Or taxes is taken from your paycheck to provide for the Medicare and the Medicaid? Well, Medicare, that's already been paid into, I understand, but that money's gone. So people who are working now is paying into it. And by the way, as we continue to lose U.S. jobs because of globalism, this is what the New World Order globalists have given us in America. Your congressmen, left and right, Republican, Democrat, has given this to you. And unless you wake up and see that that there is maybe a third option out there, maybe a fourth option, but at least in the Kentucky 2nd District, you will have a third option coming November 6th to vote for U.S. Congress. And my name's Craig Astor, and I would really appreciate your vote. But if you don't vote for me, then that's okay. I'll continue working, and I'll continue to pay into the system that is broke and listen to the wranglings that's going on in Washington, D.C. of everybody just pointing the finger at each other instead of saying, it's me, and let's put the people first instead of putting our own self-interests first. This is what we need to get back to. Thank you very much, and have a great day.